going on, dummies? That went a lot cooler in my head, I'm not gonna lie. Moving on. Shocking to absolutely no one, Paton has once again outdone himself in this year's draft. No, it may not land with a first place rating like last year's draft, but I'd like to rank this offseason as first place because, well, you know. Let's get into it. Broncos' first pick went to Oklahoma's Nick Bonito, or known around these parts as Nick Casa Bonito. I was not the first to think of that one. I would still take credit if you gave me it. It's obvious there was a spot lacking when Vaughn moved on. I mean, it's like a breakup, but I just can't get over it. So that is where Bonito comes in. You might be wondering, why did we add another pass rusher when we just signed on Randy Gregory? Well, it has been a journey with Chubb staying healthy, and he's also entering the last year of his contract, and currently Gregory is out on injury. Thus, Bonito. He's also like a killer pass rusher. What's interesting, at the 2011 scouting combine, Miller had a 10-yard split of 1.62 and Bonito had a 10-yard split of 1.53. That is almost a 10th of a second faster than Miller at the initial burst, which means this guy's got the goods. So yes, maybe I can start moving on. God, my therapist would be relieved to hear that. Okay, I'm fine. Everything's fine. Second pick went to UCLA's tight end, Greg Dulcich. According to NFL analysts and people that know a lot more football than me, he's a legit downfield threat. That's cool. And you know who else is considered a legit downfield threat? Noah Fant. So once again, Paton showed Broncos country, rest ye, you weary children, you have little faith. Paton's got it handled. In 2020, his 19.9 yards per catch average was second best in the nation among tight ends. And he also ranked second in receiving yards per game. Then in the following year, he was third best for yards per catch average and fifth best in receiving yards per game. But the most important stat to this player is this guy's incredible locks. You bet he's gonna book one of those Head and Shoulders commercials. Stat. I bet he double shampoos. Just saying. Third pick, we've got Pittsburgh's cornerback, Damari Mathis. Now, drafting Mathis will immediately help out special teams and add depth at cornerback, which the Broncos desperately need both. In 2019, he had the third lowest completion percentage allowed by a primary defender in coverage, aka no one could catch a pass around him. And you know who landed in first and second? Those cornerbacks both went in the first round in the draft this year. So, yeah, I think getting the third best in the fourth round is a deal. It's a steal. It's a deal and a steal. Fourth pick, Ioma Uwazurike. Okay, yep. He does go by the nickname Any, so Any it is. Now, this pick was to replace Shelby Harris, and most analysts are thinking that he's going to be a starter day one. He was only one of 3 players of Iowa State's history to compete in 5 bowl games and played in a total of 60 games, which was the second most played games in the school's history, and finished with a career total of 144 tackles, which is just 15 shy of Harris's record from his past 4 seasons with the Denver Broncos. So, let's all give a warm welcome to Ioma Uwazurike. I almost had it! Fifth pick went to De'Aaron Turner-Yell. Now, this is Paton's second year drafting a safety in the 5th round. So, some of you say he can't read his next move, but I disagree. Just you wait. 2023 draft, 5th round, safety, calling it now. There's your dummy insider knowledge. You're welcome. Supposedly, De'Aaron's style will remind some fans of Kareem Jackson, so that's fun. Odds are he'll likely boost up our secondary, which has been lacking, and he'll also cover the uncertain future of some of the players whose contracts are expiring next year. So yes, depth. Depth is what we need. Depth and more depth. This is what it's like when I learn new things. I feel like I know what I'm talking about finally, and I still don't, but depth. We need depth, people. Yeah, that's great depth. 6th pick, we got Montrell Washington from Samford University. Most analysts are stoked about this pick. He's only the 8th Samford Bulldog to be drafted to the NFL in the school's history. And most people credit his game against Florida as the one that really put him on the map. During that game, he totaled 179 returning yards, 124 receiving yards, 19 rushing yards, and 3 touchdowns. Just him. Just the one guy. He's gonna come on as our kick and punt returner, which is desperately needed because last year, Denver ranked 5th worst in punt return and 11th worst in kick return. God, you hate to see it. 7th pick went to Washington's Luke Wattenberg. So Paton traded up from pick 179 to 171 to grab this guy. And the only other player that Paton has traded up for is Javonte Bay-Williams. So I think I'm gonna like this guy. This guy has sort of played it all during his 5 years of college, where he played 27 games at left guard, 16 games at center, and 5 at left tackle. He is an older prospect in this NFL draft class, is 6'4", and, quote, a gas station burrito under 300 pounds. I wish I could tell you where I read that, but I am 100% talking about weight now in terms of objects. Our 8th pick goes to Wisconsin. Sorry, Matt Henningsen. This guy is sort of an anomaly. People refer to him as Matt Damon from Good Will Hunting because he's like this genius. Basically, he majored in electrical and computer engineering and graduated with a 4.0 GPA. But his brains aren't the only thing that's impressive. Oh no. He was the first walk-on since 1990 to start a season opener as a freshman. Remember, I have no idea exactly the caliber of this statement, I just know it's impressive. And at 291 pounds, otherwise known as basketball under 295, he has a 37.5-inch vertical jump, which it's basically me. He's basically jumping me. I can't ever imagine leaving the ground that high out of my own free will. Last but not least, we have another cornerback, Faion Hicks. He'll be joining the Broncos with college teammate Matt Henningsen and fellow Badgers Melvin Gordon and head chef Russ Wilson. What a fam bam, the Badge fam. This is another pick adding on to our special teams. So yes, there's somewhat of a theme here and things are looking nice and spicy in regards to it. Some analysts are saying that with cornerbacks like Surtain, Darby, Juan Williams, and then with safeties, Justin Simmons and Kareem Jackson, that the team's defensive secondary looks like it has a possibility of recreating the no-fly zone, which, to remind you, was a group that in 2015 helped the Broncos get to Super Bowl 50, baby. So you know what I'm gonna say. Yep, this year is our year. No-fly zone's back, baby. Not officially, but I'm calling it now. Just gonna start calling it, see if it catches on. Well, that is all I have for the 2022 NFL Draft Recap. I would love to know who your favorite pick is out of the 9 and who do you think is gonna have the biggest impact on the Broncos in the future. People have been drafted. Dreams have been made, man. It's so exciting. It's so exciting, and you know what's even more exciting? Go Broncos.